this is Joe, and I'm gonna do a show, Joe on relationships. Um, on this episode, I'm gonna talk about the word compromise. Now, no, I'm not talking about compromising your integrity, but I am talking about compromising in relationships. Uh, Hear me out. You're with a woman, and you know, your woman is like, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. It's okay. You know, she's gonna have her wants and needs that need to be made. But at the same time, you don't want to do whatever you want to do. And rather complaining all the time and doing this, and I don't know if I do this correctly, it's, it's like whatever, it's, you gotta be there to say, what do you want to do today? She may say, I want to go shopping, I want to do this, but you gotta say, hey, I did this yesterday for you. Could we do this today? It's like, I know there's many situations where, I went shopping, I went, food shopping, I went shopping to Walmart, and, I really love those, Walmart, shopping trips. But, let's just say, it's like, if there wasn't so many people there, I wouldn't mind shopping there. But sometimes you have to go where there's a lot of people, and you don't like that because you have to be in a good state in order to go there. So that's the time where you say, and it's as if you were running around all day, and you have to say, hey, I'm doing this. Could we go to the library, or could we go to the coffee house the next day? It's like, you compromise. It's like, hey, I'm going to the movies with you one day. I might not like to see The Quiet Place 2. I didn't see The Quiet Place 2, but it could be like that. It's like, I might not want to see The Quiet Place 2, but, if I'm doing this for you and I'm grudgingly doing this, could we go to the coffee house or do something that I like? Or Barnes & Nobles, I don't know. You name it. I mean, it helps to have, some things in common that you do. Because, you could work together on it. I remember me in the beginning of my relationship that I'm with, I was all bitching and complaining, pardon my language. He's like, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing everything. But you know what? That stuff had to be done. I had to grow some balls and be a man and to do it. Which I don't regret to this day that I helped out. As I did. Because you know what? Helping out is a good thing. You know, for many years, I was upset and I didn't understand, love and relationships and everything else. But, I'm understanding it better. It's like, every person has a role. It's like, the person that I was with before served a purpose to get me stronger to where I was to the person I'm with now. So, it's that thing. It's like, they say, you gotta hate, but, you don't have to hate everyone. It's like everyone has their own purpose and meaning, but, the one that I'm with now is very good for me. It's like it grew through time because, I've had my issues throughout time, but as I realized, you have to work on yourself. Because if you don't work on yourself, you're all out of sorts. And you have the other person controlling you, which is not good. That's why you gotta compromise. You gotta say, hey, I need some time to do this. I'm gonna be there when I get there. Let me podcast. And I'll do this for you. It's management. That's what it is. Because all I know is the benefits of what happened when you don't compromise. Let's just say you're being selfish all the time. And you're saying, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I gotta podcast, I gotta write, I gotta do this, I gotta... You know what happens when you do all that? Hell goes on bended ears. Because chances are, the same debt that you pay in the beginning of the month is the same debt that you pay at the end of the month. So, if it's one thing that I've come to a realization with and an acceptance with, is that you have to enjoy events in life. You can't pay for something and I'm going to get to, paying and who pays what and what pays whom and everything else in another podcast. But let's just say, or the perception of it, I should say. But for the sake of this video, or this podcast, I should say, I'm going to discuss what happens when you don't. Well, you're going to have eventually that woman leaving you because you know what? You're so focused and gung-ho on your dream that you forget about the people who got you to the dance in the first place. I mean, and you It could be love relationships or friend relationships. It's like, I remember for many a times I had alienated friends over my interests. And it's not a good thing. And they were there to support me through everything. And they didn't turn their back on me. But apparently along the way, I broke down, and that's how it was. But if anything, it's like, what I realized is a change of medication can help. It's like, you might not agree with half the stuff that's happened. You might not agree with the fact that this happened or that happened. This person left. This didn't go good with your company. This didn't go good with your relationship. Don't think of it like that. Think of it as steps to move you forward, to deal with the situation. Now, what I remember is, and I'm going to discuss about this in the next podcast, about finance in relationships. Because you stress over it. And what I've learned is it's not good to stress over it. It's good to take care of it because, money automatically provokes anxiety. But, it's compromising of who's going to pay for what's going to pay for whom, how are these bills going to get paid, and it's all dealing with compromise too. But and if you're a guy, and take it from me, if you're a guy and you feel that you have to pay for every little single thing that your woman does, you gotta set boundaries. Because you may feel that they're in bad shape. And then, if you're working towards something, you have to say, hey, let's work towards something. Let's put our money together. Maybe it might not show right away, but it could build to get there. And you could say, hey, we can do this for an occasion. I mean, sometimes, in relationships, you may feel the need to eat or, stuff like that, but there are other ulterior methods. It's like, you don't have to eat out all the time, and I could understand if you're in a bad situation and you're living with your parents or you're living with your family and you can't, you want to be away in private time and stuff like that, but you know what? Sometimes you need to think smart in it. Sometimes you need to balance it out, and sometimes you need to sacrifice. Because you need to think, is sacrificing in this situation going to help me get closer to a goal? that note, I'm going to lead with a tie-in for the next podcast. I'm going to keep this podcast uncompromising short. Gonna plug Joe's Writers Club. They're good for blogging purposes. I'm gonna have the links below. In the description. Joe's Writers Club is good. Club is good for writing, workshopping, and also workshopping classes, and also ghostwriting. Check it out. They're ready to help. Also, EJE sports cards. They're good for buying and selling. They will buy and sell pretty much anything. Especially one person there. So yeah, check it out. It's in the description below the site. Also, check out Stash. If you have $5 to invest, go there. I mean, under my link, you could get $20 to invest just by choosing Stash under clicking my link. Why I like Stash is you could take $5 and invest in as little as $5. You can invest in any of your favorite companies or companies that you might not be aware of. So it's good to just check out. What I like about Stash investments is, little bit could build up to a lot. It's like you may feel like $5 is nothing, and whatever, and you just gotta think that $5 is gonna compound throughout time, and where is it gonna be later on down the road? So go check it out. And also check out this network, the Joseph Vivaldi Network. It's on Spreaker. It's also on Patreon. I mean, Patreon is my page of how I am able to profit off of some of the work that I do. It's on www.patreon.com/Joseph Vivaldi Network, and check it out right there. Okay, this was Joe on Relationships, and I'm going to discuss about finance and relationships in my next podcast. Sure, this is ongoing, but it's a good topic to talk about. Okay, have a good night.